Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, look at this guy right here. I don't know why I'm deciding to do this, but I just kind of figured I would since the beta just ended. I would say today, but with it being midnight, technically it's yesterday. So, it's extremely late, and as you all know, I freaking can't stay loud because it's extremely late. I don't even know if I'm going to be having enough time to get all the points that I want to get across in this video. But we're going to try and do it. Because, I don't know, man. I just feel like I want to talk a little bit about Black Ops 4, what I experienced, what I enjoyed, what I disliked, and what recommendations I could probably make. Because honestly, with the beta, there is kind of a lot to talk about. And I've been having some, let's just say, urges to want to play it so much again. So in light of the beta being over, I went ahead and made a couple classes here in custom games that are the inspirations for the weapons in Black Ops 4. So there's the Rampart, the ICR-7, the MOG-12, the Kashka, and the Spitfire. So I just made a couple of these classes and we'll run around with them as I'm talking. And I also have Ruin with the gravity spikes because frankly, he turned into my favorite specialist just for rushing in and just killing everything. Granted, it is going to be bots and most likely they're not going to group together, but hey, I still enjoy it. So obviously with the end of the Black Ops 4 beta, there is a lot to talk about. And granted, because I am hella tired, I don't even think I'm going to be able to get all my points across. I may forget a couple things, or I may forget to address something about a certain issue if I saw anything. If you guys have any comments about the beta, or just thoroughly enjoyed it yourself, just go ahead and let me know on Twitter. I'll link it in the description. I practically live on Twitter now, especially since I've been trying to keep up so much with the Black Ops 4 stuff, and then also a couple of other games that I play just off the side. I've been kind of paying attention a little bit to those. So if y'all want to just follow or let me know what's going on. The reason I threw that stun was because I still have the healing. I still have the healing thing in the back of my mind. I guess one of the first things that we'll go ahead and talk about real quick is the fact that health being increased to 150 has been playing a huge role in the gunfights. It focuses a lot more on team play and individual skill instead of just, you know, running around with a god tier weapon that will usually net you the kill 9 times out of 10 if you get the first shot. Granted, I appreciate what Treyarch is doing, but I kind of want to know what their thought process was. By no means is it annoying to me. I personally kind of like the higher time to kill. I mean, I'm using the Man of War in Black Ops 3 and I'm just dropping these guys so quick if I don't miss a shot. But one of the main things that I think the higher health is there is to give the developers a little bit more leeway into designing their weapons however they want, because the biggest difference in weapon progression is the fact that most of the weapons have their own specific attachments and upgrades to attachments instead of them all being shared across the whole class. So I can see where that's coming from, but I just want to get a little bit of confirmation on why they decided to go with 150. Again, by no means is it annoying to me. I just like to know, because I know that's a big thing in the COD community. People are saying that time to kill is extremely slow. They should put it down to at least 125 or 100 back to normal. But frankly, that kind of is stupid, because considering that Treyarch balanced all of their guns for 150, every gun is going to turn into a 2 maximum 3 shot kill weapon. So that's going to be the most retarded thing, and then people are going to be complaining even more about that. So I don't know what's going to be going on with that. Most likely nothing's going to happen to it, but that's just a little thing that I've been seeing in the community. People not really being on board with the 150 health. And honestly, speaking of health, with health regen being manual instead of, you know, being automatic like every Call of Duty prior, I really like that. It allows you to get into the gunfights a lot quicker after you've been taken out for whatever reason. Either if you've suffered a lot of damage, or even if you just got nicked by a gun and lost like 10 health or something. It allows you to get back up to that maximum health quickly. But my one problem with it is that stim shot is kind of the crutch equipment. Everybody's running it, and if they're not running it, they're most likely running body armor. Which is a whole nother topic for another day. I'm not going to get into it. It's fine where it is right now, I think. There's not really any issues with it. My favorite weapons have AP rounds. But I'm guessing for those who have favorite weapons that don't have AP rounds, it's going to be a bit of an issue for them. Because it is kind of ridiculous that not every weapon gets access to AP rounds. Frankly, I think every weapon should have at least access to the base AP rounds. And, you know, the ones that have AP rounds too can stick with the ones that are upgraded.
Overwatch down.
But a lot of people are saying to just get rid of body armor and get rid of AP rounds entirely. Which I'm not against completely at all. It would kind of eliminate a whole nother variable. But frankly, right now, with body armor being a damage reduction percentage instead of a flat health increase, I think it's fine where it is. It still results in an extra bullet, but with you seeing the armor coming across all of the hit markers instead of just the first one, I think in the back of your head, it just makes a little bit more sense to be like, okay, he was wearing armor, but he still died. So there's not really any issues with that, honestly. As for the health mechanics and the new changes that Treyarch has made, I really like all of them, especially the new game mode Heist. That game, whew, I can't even explain to you guys how fun that is. It's honestly just, it's so ridiculously fun, and it puts a lot more skill behind the Call of Duty game instead of just running around like this and killing anyone you see. Because obviously you have the cash part where you buy your equipment and upgrade it, which I think is the best part. And considering that people are calling it the CSGO game mode of Call of Duty, that is basically what it is, and I'm not against that at all. I love everything about it. Round based, there's just nothing wrong with it, at least what I'm seeing. But if you guys were watching the stream earlier today at the time of me recording this, like I said, I'm recording this at freaking midnight, but if you saw the stream the last hour before the beta went off, I was kind of complaining about one little issue, which was that the extraction zone for the cache can sometimes be in either your or the enemy spawn, which I trust Treyarch, thinking that there's obviously some sort of reason for that. But my main issue is if the enemies realize it, they can just camp the extraction site and they don't have to go for the cache. They just have to wait for you to go to them. And you know, usually there's a bunch of head glitch spots, especially since it's a boots on the ground game. Of course, it's going to be mainly head glitches just camping there, which was my main issue, again, if you guys were on the stream, because I had one round where the entire team was just camping the extraction site and it was getting really annoying. Speaking of a boots on the ground Call of Duty, I don't even think I've boost jumped once in this gameplay. It's all been boots on the ground, mainly because before I joined in the game, I switched it back to tactical instead of stick and move, because I didn't want to be fiddling with the controls and flailing like crazy like that, and just, you know, kind of messing up my controls and aim. Because in my mind, I'm still playing on Black Ops 4 control scheme. Like, I'm not playing advanced movement, and I don't think I will ever go back to advanced movement. It was fun while it lasted, but I don't think it was a good idea. Sledgehammer did flip the ball on it, which made the game a lot more interesting back in Advanced Warfare. But now that Call of Duty's kind of gone back to, hey, let's go back to boots on the ground because, you know, no one likes advanced movement. It's kind of like, you know, we missed the boots on the ground. It was fun, and now looking back, advanced movement was kind of a stupid idea. I don't think that was necessarily the change, quote unquote, that Call of Duty needed. Granted, Treyarch still made a very fun game. And I think they were kind of tasked to input advanced movement into their game somehow. But, you know, kind of looking back, if Sledgehammer never made advanced movements, Black Ops 3 would never be a thing. Specialist probably wouldn't be a thing. And therefore Black Ops 4 wouldn't be a thing. So, all of these changes to gameplay in Black Ops 4 wouldn't be here. And who knows where the entire series would have gone at this point. I honestly don't know. Advanced Warfare wouldn't, or sorry, Infinite Warfare wouldn't have been a thing. I mean, Modern Warfare Remastered probably could have been sold by itself. That could have been the best-selling Call of Duty game of the year since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I don't know. It could have happened. But because it was paired with Infinite Warfare, it didn't even sell well. But that was a big thing with that. Anyway, I kind of tend to go off topic a little bit. So let's try and get back on task real quick. I love doing that. So the next kind of big thing that was going on was obviously the new game mode Control, which is Treyarch's, I guess, new also kind of competitive game mode alongside Heist. Honestly, they both would work really well as competitive game modes. What? What? Basically, if you guys don't know for whatever reason, each round the teams are limited to 30 lives and you're either capturing or defending 2 objectives, kind of like Hardpoint. And frankly, the game mode really brings out the abilities for the specialists and how well they all work together. Because in TDM, Kill Confirmed, Search and Destroy, the other modes that were there in game, you're not necessarily going to see it that much. I didn't play Domination and Hardpoint because the first day of weekend 1 the spawns were really messed up, and that kind of turned me off the game modes entirely. I didn't touch it at all after that. Don't you dare.
Smoked him. Threat neutralized.
But throughout the entirety of weekend 1 and the first half of weekend 2, I was strictly playing only TDM. Until roughly around the second day of weekend 2, and then all towards the end, I was really having a lot of fun with Heist and Control, because those game modes focus a lot more on the team aspect and the specialist aspect instead of running around like headless chickens around the map just killing whatever you see. And I kind of enjoy that a little bit more. I feel that's kind of what Call of Duty needed. Something to refresh the series a little bit instead of just running around like this, killing anything in sight. Granted, it is fun, but it gets boring after, like, what, 13 years? I don't know. I don't know how long it's been.
They're gone.
But I guess you could say people like the mindless running, because it allows them to keep on going on these streaks. And yeah, I understand that. I mean, one of the biggest things that I look forward to every year from Merc Music is his quad feed with every gun video, where he just goes off and literally gets a quad feed with every gun in the game. Every primary, secondary, launcher, melee that's in the game at launch when he makes it, because with DLC weapons, yeah, I mean, you can't really plan for any of that. But with every stock weapon at the base of the game, he goes off with them, and it's just so entertaining to watch. And even if they're split, even if he has a friend who helps him out, like a bro feed or something, it's still entertaining to watch, because it, especially bro feeds, because it's like you two are working together to just demolish the enemy team. And I think team play in Call of Duty, like I said earlier, is what was missing, because for the most part it's been just all about individual performance. Like, look at me, I'm going against bots and I'm 12 and 88. I'm very mediocre, by the way. How about you shut up? But I feel like that's what the franchise was kind of missing. Granted, of course, there's going to be people who have different opinions, but, you know, in my own opinion, I think the team play aspect in Black Ops 4 with all the specialists really refreshes the game for me. And it's why I was talking about at the beginning of the video that I was kind of having withdrawals after the beta ended, after I ended the stream. I just wanted to play it so much more. And, you know, I was looking on Twitter after that, just like, what if they dropped the Blackout beta right now? I know it's not September, but what if they just dropped the Blackout beta right now? But obviously not. They wouldn't do that. And frankly, since Activision is partnered with Blizzard partly for the Black Ops 4 year cycle, I heard that World of Warcraft had this like big makeover update or whatever, and a bunch of people were trying it and they got pulled in. And every time there's some sort of game like that, you know, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, you go in there and you never come back. I was one of the lucky ones where I went in and I came back out after like 2 weeks, I think. I did play League of Legends for a bit, but frankly, the community is kind of toxic. I still didn't understand a whole lot of what was going on, and you know, I seriously didn't know how to handle the game at all. It didn't get boring, it just got way too confusing and I couldn't handle it anymore, but that's besides the point. Speaking of points, let's move on to the next one while I suck at sniping. As far as issues, I don't know off the top of my head if there were any major ones. God damn it, health. My biggest thing, obviously, was the spawns in Domination and Hardpoint. The maps literally had no flow. Everything was random. And you couldn't really predict anything. Okay, he just runs away like a pussy. And I didn't really like the game, and that's why I was kind of driven to playing only TDM for the entirety of the first weekend. Because, frankly, dealing with the game modes that you grind for XP, I couldn't do it. So I just stuck with TDM after that. And granted, I heard they were fixed, but for the most part, people still were saying that the spawns were still pretty bad. So I didn't really look into doing it again. So I kind of missed out on it. But if there were any of you who played the beta, yep, cause I'm good at sniping. Yep. But if any of you did play the beta and managed to play Hardpoint or Dom a whole lot, let me know either in the comments or on Twitter if the game modes got fixed between the weekends, or if you just started kind of warming up to how the game was playing, because I couldn't do it the first weekend. I frankly couldn't put up with it at all. It got super annoying super quick. And you know, I don't know how specialists like Torque would work in situations like that. I guess it would work similar to like Control, but you know, the hardpoint would obviously be moving everywhere, which I don't know why you would commit a barricade to a certain spot if it's just gonna move within the next minute. So again, I don't know how that works. Maybe you guys rush in with Recon. I'm terrible at sniping. Maybe you guys rush in with Ruin, get a Seraph to back you up, you know, have Recon for his Vision Pulse, Nomad to lock down the site with Trip Mines. I'm garbage. Okay. On stream earlier, I was talking about a bunch of quality of life things that should come to the game, but for the life of me, I cannot remember what I was talking about. And frankly, I don't want to remember Colette. Because, you know, usually I just kind of ramble whenever I'm getting pissed off at a game. Like, I'll just make up the stupidest excuses for whatever reason. Unless the excuses are legitimate and it's like... Okay. And it's like, you know, friggin' dude was camping in a corner, or he's head glitching behind some sort of box like this. Some of them do get annoying pretty quick. Excuse me. And usually I just end up rambling on, and the stuff that I say doesn't mean anything, or I just don't think about what I'm going to say. Because, you know, when you're raging, you don't... Okay. When you're raging, you don't really think about stuff like that. You know, it just kind of comes out. Triple kill. Oh my god, the quad. Quad feed. Frankly, I'm kind of happy with whatever has been going on with the game. Treyarch has been quick to make changes and updates. They've been doing it every day for both weekends, which I think is fantastic. And, you know, with them constantly shifting the game, you know, they tweaked body armor from health into a percentage. They nerfed down all of the SMGs to fire, or not fire, they tweaked all the SMGs to have, I think, longer sprint out times and less range. So that was great. So all the weapons literally shine in their respective zones. You know, you have the snipers that you can quickscope with because this maps are so small. You have your SMGs for extreme close quarters, shotguns in case you want to buff up the MOG 12 and get the choke barrel so it can one-shot. That works too. You have the rifles for medium to long range, and then, you know, the LMG, which can be used at any range, really, I think.
Reaper, KIA.
UAV, ready for deployment.
Frankly, I do believe that Treyarch is kind of the only developer that can make a long-lasting Call of Duty game. I mean, because I didn't want to go into a public match right now, especially this late, because I haven't played all day. After the Blackout after the Black Ops 4 beta finished for multiplayer, I did not play video games the rest of the day. I was sitting here waiting like, where's my Black Ops 4? And then, you know, on Twitter afterwards, I was like, where's the Blackout beta? They're gonna drop it, please, hello, please. I want Blackout. I did hop on Fortnite for a little bit just to get the challenge done, but frankly, I got way too pissed off too quick, and it's just like, I can't deal with it right now. So I went to my room, and then I came back and was just like, hey, let's record this real quick. But whatever. We're here now. We're talking about Black Ops 4. I'm missing every shot as he runs in a straight line to the outside of the map. If you guys can tell, I'm garbage. First thing up on the chopping block, as I miss half of my magazine, is zombies. I am a huge zombies fan. For those of y'all who don't know, I have been playing since World at War 2008. I've been playing zombies since then. The game has been extremely fun for me, and if it wasn't obvious, I am currently Master Prestige in zombies on Black Ops 3. I have grinded the game out. I have attempted so many Easter eggs, but I can't because I suck and I only play solo. And if I got friends who want to join in, they suck. But, you know, regardless, we have fun. So it's not like it's going to be the worst thing in the world if I don't complete an Easter egg. I have completed the Dries and Draw one. I have done that. But, you know, I haven't done, like, I think the most difficult one is Garad Krovi, which, shout out to JC Backfire. If you don't know who he is, he's a legendary zombies YouTuber, along with his buddy Mr. T. They both freaking love Garad Krovi. Maybe not Lex, but definitely JC. He says that's by far his favorite map. I don't know if it's for the meme. I don't know if it's legit. I don't know if he just has some sort of weird kink with dragons. But, you know, it's his opinion, and I respect it. Because Garad Krovi is a fun map. But the Easter egg, from what I've read way back when it was being discovered, and from what I remember, it's a freaking freak show. There's like 7-8 challenges that you have to do in one game, and they're all kind of ridiculously difficult. And you really gotta save your rounds, which is kind of stupid. But, you know, zombies has been a big thing in my life, and Black Ops 4 Zombies, I hope, is no different. Considering that it's going to the Chaos storyline instead of the Ether storyline, which, for those of you guys who don't know, the Ether storyline is the one that has been following everybody since World at War, and it's supposed to end with the Mob of the Dead remaster, Blood of the Dead, coming out on disc with Black Ops 4. So that's supposedly gonna tie up some loose ends and everything, and it's just gonna be up to the community to put it together, which I'm happy with, because I kind of want to know what the whole story is. I know that an official timeline was put out there by Treyarch, which I'm happy to see, but you know, there's obviously still some mystery, and I wonder what Blood of the Dead is gonna reveal. And coming to the Chaos storyline, these new characters, I really hope it's just as interesting as once I figured out there was a huge lore behind it in Black Ops 1. Once I figured out that there was a bunch of things going on, there was Doctors 115 and freaking, you know, the zombies were being controlled by a little kid named Samantha. I got instantly hooked and I wanted to learn everything more about the story. But for me right now, I don't know what is coming up with the Chaos storyline. Because frankly, all I know right now is Scarlett's father has experimented with a magic that brings back the dead.
Scrapped it.
And the other three, Diego, Shaw, Bruno, they're helping her, like, I think reverse his work or whatever. Which it sounds cool in theory, but I need to see the story play out over time first.
Check.
I think what instantly got me hooked on the Ether storyline was that, you know, it was two doctors, one of them gone mad, one of them died. And, you know, just a little kid controlling zombies. You never hear about stuff like that. Especially on the moon. She was on the moon, guys. If you guys don't know the Ether storyline, I highly recommend looking into it, because it is extremely interesting. Like how far it has come in 10 years.
Drop.
And the other thing, obviously, is Blackout. You know, the Blackout beta is apparently coming out in September, and there has been a sort of, I guess, leak, you could call it, kinda, whatever. Another quick shout out to another YouTuber. I'm shouting out a bunch of people. If you don't know who they are, you should really check them out, because they are much better than me. Glitching Queen. She is kind of like the info channel. She's the ones that lets everybody know about everything in terms of zombies. Which, props to her. She freaking stays on top of everything, even when it's not zombie season at all for Treyarch. She got messaged on Twitter a picture from someone who supposedly was in the Xbox store, and it still had the information there for the Black Ops 4 multiplayer beta, but it said that the release date was September 8th, which, the beta being already over, it's still August, and the Blackout beta saying it's in September. That tells me that they already are getting it ready to have the Blackout beta be sent in as the update file, and it's going to get released on September 8th, which is less than a month away. Treyarch is not waiting at all to let us try this stuff. And, you know, I think with it's a huge rumor and nothing's confirmed, but with Treyarch, I'm assuming having Blackout on the back burner, like they scrapped the campaign idea and started working on a battle royale because they noticed that Fortnite was doing so well. It's obviously not gonna have 100 players. I will be impressed if it gets 100 players. I will not be disappointed if it has 60, 75 players. Because with them saying that it's gonna be, I think, 150 times the size of Nuketown. I don't know, my math may be wrong on that. But according to another YouTuber, yet again, Drifter, he's done the math, and supposedly at minimum size, it's going to be just larger than the Fortnite map. And at maximum size, it's going to be, I think, just smaller than the PUBG map. Because in terms of the Nuketown map, it's either the square footage inside the actual map, the playable area, or the entire map as a whole, like the area that you can also walk outside, the spots that are blacked out on the map and everything. So it's impressive, you know, with that large map. 150 Nuketowns, I could totally see that being fit for 100 people, and it's going to be very cluttered. But even if it's 60, 75, the battles are going to be very spaced out, and you're going to have to be on guard a lot. And, you know, judging from Heist, which implemented the pick up and equip system for the health and ammo in the environment, I'm assuming that's what it's going to be for Blackout. You're just going to see random weapons on the ground. You know, there's probably going to be some sort of, I'm going to call them supply drops. I hope they are supply drops. Kind of like this one where you just come up and, you know, you find a weapon in there or something. Which I think would be pretty cool. There's obviously got to be some sort of meds. And then some sort of storm, which I am hoping, please, Treyarch, use zombies as your storm. Or whatever boundary, whatever garbage. That would be so cool. And that would literally turn it, as Vondi says, the Black Ops way. The only way Black Ops could do a battle royale. Because no other game developer is going to put zombies as the storm. They're going to see that as stupid. But with Blackout, I could totally see that happening, and I would love to see that. Now, it's not a secret as well with Treyarch teasing Blackout that Verrucht is going to be on the map. Which, please put more zombies maps if you're teasing Verrucht. Because obviously someone who puts the trailers together, and obviously they get looked over, they know that they're putting in Verrucht in the trailer. It's not like someone just snuck it in as one of the little transitions in there. but I'm hoping and praying that, you know, the zombies are the storm, and if not, it's gonna be fine. I'm still gonna play the Blackout beta.
Smoke them.
And you know, when the game is fully released, I'm gonna be completely split on what I want to play. The multiplayer was extremely fun. I need another battle royale instead of just Fortnite,
Reaper down.
because honestly, H1Z1 and PUBG, I've tried them. I'm not a big fan of the third person and, you know, H1Z1's first person mode. The style is just completely different, and being familiar with a Call of Duty game series, playing Blackout is going to be a breath of fresh air for Battle Royale instead of being third person building. It's going to be, you get in a gunfight, you kill them, you move on. And, you know, with it being Black Ops, the game should go by fairly quick. I think quicker than Fortnite.
Nomad. KIA.
Because imagine, like, you're dropping people as quickly. Like, you're going to be following against people like this. Unless they just nerf the weapons to do, like, minimal damage. Like, 20 damage with 150 health. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Jesus. That turned into, like, 8 shots to kill on a rifle if you put it to 20 damage. I don't even know if that'd be enjoyable to play with. But I don't know. There's going to be, obviously, some sort of weapon tuning that may need to be done. And again, if you guys don't know, for whatever reason, Treyarch did implement bullet ballistics into the multiplayer, and as they said, it was inspired by them working on the Blackout build for the beta, which I'm not completely against. You know, having bullet ballistics is a little bit more realistic. I just think that in multiplayer, maybe it should just stick to hit scan. I'm not 100% sure at this point, because, you know, the maps are already ridiculously small, so you're not going to notice any bullet travel time unless you're trying to shoot someone at extremely long range with an SMG. That's when it becomes noticeable. What am I doing? Okay.
That's a kill. Spear in my ass.
But there's just so many things left wide open right now with Blackout, because Treyarch and Activision have kept so quiet about it. They're not saying anything on the trailer that released at the end of the multiplayer beta trailer. That was all we have for right now, besides knowing the size of the maps and already what was teased in May, what is going to possibly be on the map, which people have found. You know, Cargo, Raid, Nuketown obviously was in the trailer. So obviously we know that there's going to be supply drops. You know, that's going to be here to stay. Nothing's going to be changing. Supply drops are never going away. Bottom line, unless Activision finally decides, you know what, we can stop doing microtransactions, because honestly, you know, or not even stop doing microtransactions. Stop putting weapons, camos, and everything that we like in the game behind a slot machine. Because Black Ops 3 literally had a slot machine, and it was the most annoying thing that you could ever do.
Spotter kill.
You know, there's a couple of things that they need to keep in mind if they want to keep the game alive, especially for the newer players who are coming back from Fortnite. Because I guarantee you, either they left at Advanced Warfare when Advanced Movement became a thing, they either left after Infinite Warfare because Black Ops 3 was over, and a new game that was basically just a BO3 reskin wasn't doing it. Or maybe they left after World War II because it was like, you know, this boots on the ground Call of Duty by a non-Treyarch developer is kind of just meh. I don't like it. And that's especially when Fortnite was hitting its peak in popularity. So I can understand if the majority of people came from there. But if they want to keep people staying, they need to get away from the supply drop model that especially was in Black Ops 3. That was the most unforgiving supply drop model I have ever seen. And I think World War II's model, or even a even more forgiving model than that, would kind of be needed to keep the game alive, at least for the multiplayer. Because Blackout, I guarantee you there's going to be skins. There's going to be different skins from every single rendered asset of a character model in the game. You know, there's going to be both Masons, Woods, Hudson, the multiplayer characters from Black Ops 2, Black Ops, World at War. There's going to be all the zombies characters. I'm assuming, you know, the World at War Black Ops 1s, and then, you know, the Black Ops 2 group, Victus, you know, Misty, Stuhlinger, Marlton, Russman, those guys, and then, you know, the Black Ops 3 versions, Primus crew. They're going to have them all. They're going to have the specialists there. And, you know, everything needs to be perfect for Blackout, but I think if multiplayer's not doing it, people are going to play Blackout. Unless they just enjoy building, then they're going to go back to Fortnite, which is completely fine. You know, I still prefer first person. You rely on your gun and your skill, not building. Because, you know, if you get caught off guard, that's your fault. No need to build to get yourself out of there. So I really enjoyed doing this, going back to the older Call of Duties, and you know, in my spare time I'm probably gonna do it. And once I get a legitimate recording software, because if you guys don't know, I use the PlayStation to record, but I would like to record going back to the older Call of Duties, because I did skip over the Modern Warfare franchise. I didn't play Modern Warfare when it was in its prime. Modern Warfare 2 I skipped over. Modern Warfare 3 I played just before Black Ops 2's release. And then, you know, I played a lot of World at War, Black Ops 2, and then obviously Black Ops 3, and now coming in October, Black Ops 4. I'm a Treyarch fanboy. There's no way around it.
Spotter killed.
But I am assuming that's going to be it for now, because there really isn't much more to talk about. The beta was fantastic in my opinion. I loved every aspect of it. I've talked about what I believe Treyarch needs to do, and what the minor issues were, even though if they don't get changed, it's not going to hurt the game completely for me. Just little quality of life things like I mentioned earlier. But it's going to turn into, like, you know, once the game comes out, what am I going to do? Because zombies, Blackout, and then the multiplayer, I don't know what I'm going to do. I seriously don't know what I'm going to do, because I want to play all of them. And then I'm going to be in the middle of freaking classes. I'm not going to have time to freaking mess around with video games all that much like I can during the summer. I'm going to be freaking falling behind. Like, I grinded to level 40 so quick in the beta. But I'm not going to be able to do it as easily once the year starts, because I'm going to be freaking busy with classes. And I've been waiting for the next Treyarch game since Black Ops 3 was over. Because, you know, Infinite Warfare, I completely skipped over. I did not play that at all. And then World War 2, yeah, I played it a decent bit. I think a Prestige 5. If I'm not Prestige 5, I'm about to get there. But, you know, frankly, I've just been waiting for a Treyarch game. I want a Treyarch game. And getting a taste of it through the Black Ops 4 beta, I am so convinced that the wait was worth it. There's nothing you can tell me otherwise. The wait was so worth it. If you guys hate the game from just the beta, go ahead. You know, that's your opinion. I personally loved it. If you have your own criticisms, you know, it's your opinion. I'm not gonna really do anything unless, you know, some of you are legit stupid and say, oh, turn down the health. Okay, that's a great idea. But then the weapons all become 2-shot, 3-shot. Every single one. And then it's gonna turn into Modern Warfare 2 again.
Infantry down.
And the only reason I say it is because I went back and played Modern Warfare 2 recently, and pretty much every gun is a 1-shot, 2-shot. So that has happened. But, you know, again, that's gonna be pretty much it. I've also gone through the 5 classes that I've been working here to just, you know, kind of talk, and that's kind of what I've been doing to pace myself. Just go through all the classes, make sure I get through all my points, and, you know, we're pretty much done at this point. I don't think there's much that I can talk about left.
Spear blunted.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and end it here. Again, thank you so much for watching if you managed to make it this far. If you're new and just happened to find this video talking about Black Ops 4, thank you so much. If you want to see the other gameplays that I made of Black Ops 4, and officially when the game comes out, consider subscribing. And make sure you hit that bell, because, you know, YouTube is YouTube. We'll deal with it. Make sure to leave a like. And like I said earlier, I'm on Twitter if you guys ever want to tweet at me or just talk about a bunch of stuff for the games. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.